Welcome to the 2016 Maywald Christmas light display. My name is Jordan Maywald. I am the creator of this display and I'm 18 years old. I have some help from my mother named Rhonda Maywald, she is 50, some help from my dad, Chad Maywald, who is 51, and help from my brother Logan Maywald, who is 23. This display is located in the outskirts of Austin, Texas. On about 2.5 acres is our display, and it grows and grows each year. There are about 55,000 lights out here. This is the wide angle of the display. When you come around the corner, this is what you see. First, we have our 15.5-foot wooden reindeer and our 20-foot sleigh I built. I built it out of plywood and cut it out with a jigsaw, and behind it is our 20-foot inflatable Santa Claus that goes perfect with it. The wood that I had left over, I built Believe out of, as you can see right here. Behind Believe is our 32-foot mega tree with gifts underneath it I also made. Coming up next is our family Christmas card made out of plywood that I also created. I routed out Merry Christmas from the Maywalds to give it a neat effect, a 3D effect almost. And of course I painted the snowman. Coming up next is my favorite part of the display, the 13-foot wooden church that I created this year. This is one of the first things I created this year. I built it in August, and it is a great piece. For the windows, we added stained glass windows that my mother created. All she used was wax paper and tissue paper, and she glazed them for the windows so they're weatherproof, and they are a great feature to this display and the church. This church took many hours, but it sure looks great. Coming up next is our ice pond. It doesn't get cold in Texas that much, so we want to create a cold effect. So we have our ice pond with penguins and polar bears by it, and we even have ice blocks in there to make it look real frigid. And everyone loves it. There are twinkling lights in it, and there are about 4,000 blue lights in there. Above it we have our clear tree. It took me a whole day to wrap this tree. There's about 4,500 clear lights in it, and it makes this display really pop. Here's a closer look at our mega tree. The star on top I also built out of PVC pipe to give it a great effect from a distance away. These presents I built myself out of great paneling, and I cut them and used zip ties and lights, and they sure look great. The red one is about 6 feet tall, and the green one is about 4 feet tall. This is the back side of the deer in the sleigh. And next year we'll be wrapping more trees behind this mega tree and off to the side, since we have more trees back there. Coming up next is our inflatable teddy bear and our inflatable nutcracker. The children love this. This is almost like the kids' land right here. They love taking pictures by the teddy bear and the nutcracker, and we will also be wrapping more trees behind them next year, since this is new this year. Next is our candy cane tree. I wrapped with white and red lights to give it the candy cane effect, since we're right next to the gingerbread house. The gingerbread house is fiber optic and it changes colors. Right here we have Frosty the Snowman. He's a very old blow mold, older than I am. This is one of the first things my parents ever bought. He's about 25 years old, and he's still in working condition. We like to put him at the front of the display so everyone can see him, so I can show this is where it all started. Next we have our vertical lighted trees. I decided to put C9 bulbs straight up the trees to give it an outline effect. I've never seen that anywhere, and I thought it'd be neat to do. Next, we have the front of our house. There aren't that many lights on the roof this year, but next year we will have lights on the roof and the dormers, and it'll look great. One of the best features is our candy cane archway. You can see right here. It's made out of plywood, and I cut it out with a jigsaw. Drew it on the plywood, cut it out, and after I was done cutting it out, I painted it and put lights on it, and it looks fantastic. Next, we have one of the first things I ever built for this display. About 8 years ago, I built these reindeer in this sleigh, and I like to put it out here as a memory of this is where it also got started. Next, we have our 20-foot inflatable snowman. He's a giant, and when the wind blows, he even looks like he's waving. The kids get a thrill out of that. Next, we have our new addition to this year also. More trees wrapped, and a snowman and some trees next to it, but it will have much more next to it next year. There is about 5,000 lights in this grove of trees. We also have about a 12-foot mini mega tree that I built this year with green lights and some wooden presents by them that I also created. I like to create displays out here that are hand built, so it's because no one else has them. There's not one like it in the world. That's what makes this display neat. You can have all the lights you want, but a display you can build is something somebody else does not have. Coming up next is our nativity scene, the reason for the season. This nativity is a very hard display to build. It took many hours, and I created it with plywood, and I cut them out with the jigsaw. There are 14 pieces here, but it sure is a neat piece to our display. And we also added hay around it to give it the real effect. This is one of our traditional displays because we do not like to see flashing lights or displays synced to music. We are very traditional people, so this is one of the best traditional displays in Austin, we have been told. There was probably about 150 hours that went into putting this display up this year. Very hard work, but worth it in the end. Especially for when all the children come out here and see it and their faces just light up. That is very a heartwarming experience to us. Especially when the adults come out here and ask me, how did I build this stuff? And I tell them and they go, this is absolutely fantastic. Here's another look at our ginormous deer. And families love to take a picture in our sleigh. And of course, believe. That's where it all starts. You must believe.